Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. Again, we have another special guest with us in the studio. So this is Jakub or Jakub.
It's Jakub, isn't it?
We're going to get into this debate straight away, aren't we?
This
Do we clear this up? It is Jakub, but the amount of questions I've had all the time, like, which one are you?
Yeah.
I just thought, everyone's going with Jakub,
Is Jakub the more common one?
Yeah, more common,
When you introduced yourself to me, you said Jakub.
Yeah.
So I've called you Jakub ever since. But then
on
your Instagram, it is Jakub. Like, I would pronounce it Jakub, seeing your name.
Yeah.
But because you introduce yourself as Jakub, it's like, oh, it's Jakub.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's Jakub or Jakub.
Yeah.
How do you say your surname?
Dolata.
Yeah. So it's Jakub Dolata.
You didn't need to do
Jakub.
Jack. You didn't need that. Well, that's not.
That's probably not Polish. That's probably a different country.
That's like half and half. Anyway, so he's the owner of Be Modified Gym, where myself and
badge.
train.
Get the badge in there.
Right, yeah.
As you can see. So we'll just delve straight into it. So the gym's been open now for what, a year?
Funny enough, you landed quite perfectly.
Yeah.
I've opened the company on the 12th of April, so what, 3 days ago?
Okay.
I saw that story on your on the other day.
Yeah. We're officially open on the 10th of June.
Okay.
I had a pretty quick setup of the gym. It was non-stop.
Yeah.
So, almost a year.
So we'll come on. We've got a few questions.
let's
We'll
talk
come on to the
before.
questions,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of the questions that people ask for you will probably get answered anyway.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
So like, I'm just going to ask questions that I want to know because it's pretty cool, and I think like it's good for like me and Reese have spoken about maybe like having a gym and stuff like that in future. I know you said you two were going to have a proper chat at some point.
Yeah. We did.
Yeah.
We
You
played
did?
golf.
You played golf or mini golf.
Yeah.
Not
We got
real
the same score.
Yeah.
So I told you
that
that
was
two
that,
games.
Yeah.
Like what was it? 36 holes, and we got the exact same.
Score. Yeah. And then on the last one, I've basically said, this one wins all.
You know the hole in one. If you get a hole in one, you get a free game.
You both did it.
No, I did it.
No, he did it.
Oh, you win that.
But I got the free game, so, technically
Yeah, I
you
gave
lose.
it to him because it's near him. So I was
Which
like,
means you
come
lost.
back here.
Is it what the Derby one?
Yeah, that one. So
Yeah.
have you used it?
I still got it, yeah.
No,
I still got it, yeah.
You'll never use it.
Yeah.
I've got one at home that
Nah,
I've been to
No,
golf.
no,
We'll get on it.
Yeah, but I've been like 3 times since. I've still forgotten I've got it every time.
What, and you're like,
It's just on the side.
To be fair, I don't know where it is.
I've
got it.
somewhere at home. Right, so I wanted to ask, like, how just basically give us like a run through how it all started from like the beginning.
Because obviously you're old, mate. You're not.
I am. Yeah. Am I your oldest?
I actually had a question saying
you
he
are.
looks quite young. I want to ask about it. So
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm
you've been-
22. I'm 31.
And you've been in the game now for long enough. I've known of you for a few years.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I've told you. I saw you on Cuba Story years ago. Like years.
Didn't follow me.
Ago.
Didn't follow me back then.
You didn't follow me, bro.
No.
So the first time we ever spoke was at the Team Evo meetup.
Yes.
You were sat awkwardly to the side with Mel.
I'm just a shy guy.
And I was like, oh, well, I know Sinai knows Mel, so I'm just going to sit next to him.
Yeah.
The music was so loud.
Yeah,
we were trying to talk.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
I was like...
But I thought originally that was just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the
Getting
accent.
spit
I
in
was
your
like,
face.
I can't hear him. I was blaming the accent. And then it turns out he actually is English. I was like, I thought you should speak in Polish to me.
I'm not English.
But either way, that was the first time that we ever met. And that was back in 2022.
Yeah.
And you were showing me your...
Just a list. It was just a list.
Pretty cool, that
things.
I remember you telling me like the day after, you're like, oh, I spoke to this guy, he's going to open a gym like near Derby. And he was like, the kit he was telling me about sounds amazing. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And now it's like, it's weird how it just comes to fruition.
I said to both of you, I was like, usually I've had so many people, let's say so many, like 3 or 4, show me kit lists. And you expect to be like, here we go, let's have a look. Oh, and you just look at it and you're just, and you almost just, I remember saying, I was like, right, I was like, you don't mind if I criticise? And you were like, go ahead. And I literally looked through it like 3 times. I was like,
I was pretty confident. I
was like, pretty good this. And I was like, yeah, I think you'll do good. I think I might have said like 2 or 3 suggestions and you were like, oh yeah, I'm thinking of that, or I want something like that. But that was the first time that we ever spoke. And then since then, like obviously give us a bit of a background prior. Cool. Like how did you get into bodybuilding? You came into the country because you said to me
2006.
Was it mentally retarded? Was it mentally?
We were on the topic, something like that. Yeah.
So you said
depends how PG you want to keep this.
No, you're fine.
I think I'm a bit of a late bloomer, to be honest. Like, because obviously I came to England, I couldn't speak a word of English, completely nothing.
When did you come?
2006.
Okay.
They dropped me into this school full of like English kids.
Ever like taught?
I was, I was in Poland, but
So what? If you in 2006, how old were you then? What, like? You've been 15, 16?
Yeah. You
15.
Yeah, 14, 15.
About 19...
When
92.
92.
So you'll be all like 14.
Yeah.
I'm like late 92. November.
And you said you had the mental age of like 10 years younger.
Yeah, mate, I went in. I was like, well, clearly I'm not going to do very well at school, let's be honest.
Is this even in Poland or?
No, like in England, obviously.
Yeah, but surely you're going to be like that because if you don't know the language,
mate, I did alright in maths.
Like if we had to go to a different country, you wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, so I picked up English and then obviously went to college and I ended up. It was one of those loops, people that when they go to uni because they don't really know what to do and you kind of like waste your time at uni. Yeah. So I did that. I ended up in a weird course. It was like offender management. Ran through a college. It was
Sex offenders to try and help you get on the sex offender list.
And it was like
what was that course called? Mate?
It was like ran through a college as well, so it wasn't really uni. It was like. Yeah, I don't even know what it was, man. So it's like level 4, level 5, level 6. When I got to level 6, I was like, I'm wasting my time. Yeah. And I just called it a day and went into full-time employment. At the time, I was a full-time cleaner at a gym. That's all I did. Okay. So I worked full-time and I did uni, which was 3 days a week. So I could manage squeezing all that in. Yeah. And I quickly, became a lifeguard, worked my way up the ladder,
the prestige.
Achieved the duty manager role, I was the boss.
What gym was it?
That was Virgin Active, originally, and then it became Nuffield Health.
Okay.
It was a bit shit.
Yeah.
But I was rough, I was starting to train then, but training from a, Nuffield Health, it was more like, okay, let's see how much I can bench.
Is this the bench story to jump on gear?
We could talk about that. Yeah, we could talk about that.
Such a funny story. I was dying when you.
So yeah, obviously I was training from Nuffield, and it was one of those where I was just doing all sorts of things, just anything, power building, a bit of bodybuilding, but powerlifting, and then I was always a good presser, always, and then I think I benched 175, maybe 180, natty. Maybe I did some SARMs before, maybe I don't remember.
Half night.
And me and my mate were like, finished that session. Went back to my house. We're like, we're doing it, yeah, we are. Cool.
He told me that I hit a bench
and we jumped on Tez 400, jabbing it once a week to just like a bit of prop, a bit of sib, bit of E, and I was just jabbing it once a week. Like, yeah, I'm gonna blow up on that. So yeah, I just got some pretty bad acne from that. I got pretty strong, and then I started to understand. Obviously, there's a bit more to it. Bodybuilding is quite a bit of a. Yeah. Gonna have to do some proper lifting and proper research.
I quite like stories like that because now it's the opposite in it where people will take, which is probably the best way to take their time thinking about it. But it's quite funny when people are just honest and that's what I did.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had obviously to be exposed to all the education and everything back then, but where I was at the time, Derby's pretty good with gyms right now, but back then. It was
anywhere, to be fair.
There wasn't even a
JD.
Even
a few years ago, we used to complain about gyms around us not being great, and now we're spoiled for choice almost.
Yeah.
No, definitely. So what happens? You jumped on gear after you hit 175 on the bench. That's happened. Did you then what was the evolution to actually becoming a bit more of a bodybuilder, getting your first coach, all that sort of stuff?
I started seeing a girl.
Yeah.
And she was coached by Coach Jay McHale.
Yeah.
And she was like, look, you're training shit. It's not what he said. She told me, you're training shit, this is shit. You'd actually be an okay bodybuilder if you actually trained like a bodybuilder.
So she was a liar as well.
Yeah.
No wonder you left her.
Exactly. I hope she doesn't watch this.
Gaslight him if he is. You'll be alright.
Yeah. So she got me into a consult call with Josh. And then I've been with Josh for a month or so. I just couldn't get on with the training. Nothing against Josh. It was great. He gave me the full list that I needed to do. You got your training plan, you've got everything pretty much. Yeah. It was just those, because I came from powerlifting, power building, I was having to put on cuffs to do my side raises. I'd be I'm not doing that,
When was this time-wise? 2019?
2019, end of 2019. So that's when it started to come in, the cool exercises. Everyone I left him after a month.
Sacked because of cuff laterals.
Yeah.
Anyway, why cuff laterals on the plan? I've got to say.
I'm sacking you, bro.
I'm not doing cuff laterals.
Yeah. January, I went to Ultraflex Rotherham and met Cuba. Well, that's the first. He did a first video on YouTube, I watched that. I was like, fuck yeah, I want to be coached by this guy. Yeah. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah. So I've been coached by him for 2 years, I want to say. But because it was lockdown, had to hoard it like you guys from what you told me from your stories. Had to just hoard all the equipment. Because I worked at Nuffield. Me and my ex at the time, we sort of like robbed the place. We were pretty much told like, look, you can't take anything.
That was the same when I was working at Pure Gym at the time, and I literally live, I'm not even joking, 30 seconds across the road. Still live there now. And I was like, surely you can give me a key. Like, surely I can come and train. No. Surely I can take some dumbbells. No. You couldn't have anything. It was like, what?
Well, because I've worked my way up the ladder at Nuffield, and I was now officially the building maintenance manager and whatever, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get in. I'm going to have to go and check on the pools, because when COVID came out, I was like, oh, that's only going to last a week or two. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll be back in straight away. So I thought, oh, yeah, my training's sound. But just in case, I was like, got some dumbbells. I think I got a barbell.
Just took it.
I think we must have got like 4 20s, some 10s, some 5s. Pretty good setup, you know. And then I made a good run to decathlon back then. Got two stands and a bench. So I was like, I can do squats, I can do, pressing, I can do all sorts. So I was pretty set up.
You were pretty switched on with it, weren't you? Like, I remember I just sort of like hoped for the best. I was like, oh, it'll be sound, like nothing's gonna happen. Yeah. Like almost like just trying to like ignore it. Yeah. Like ignorance is bliss. And then the day before the lockdown, I rang Reese and I was like, hey mate, like, long time no speak. Like, what are you doing for lockdown?
Have you got any?
Can I use your kids?
I've got nothing. Can I come and train with you?
It literally was on it. But then we had we must have spent 3 hours on FaceTime planning our program. It was quite fun.
Yeah, nice.
And then we realised after like a week, we were like, we can't train 6 days.
Yeah. How did you find lockdown training? Like doing all the, because I'm guessing you were pretty strong at that point, where you just smashed.
Yeah. The thing is, because I left Nuffield literally the time lockdown hit.
So you stole that kit? You did actually steal it.
Did you ever take it back?
Is it going to be modified now?
Well, they've gone. I saw everything. Yeah. No, so my ex worked there as a PT, and I left. They got pretty pissed off with us taking the stuff, so we took some things back. We didn't take everything back. We took it back after lockdown. Okay. So yeah, it's all good. I didn't steal anything. I borrowed it.
Just about telling them when it's going to.
And then I was working full time. I started working for schools, managing all the buildings and everything.
Dream job, that.
Dream job for you. We'll talk after the podcast.
Yeah. What job is that?
Don't worry, I'll sort you out. It was actually a special needs school as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, amazing.
So you'll do just right.
Yeah. No wonder they got you to let's say manage there.
Mate, I got straight
Inspiration from the top.
Got straight in, mate.
They'd be like, look, this is your peak. This is what
this is it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did, and come home and just train, in the garden, because literally in the rain and everything, because I had no covers or anything. So started to build my shed, which you saw.
Yeah.
But lockdown sort of finished then, so I was like, well, I'm just going to go. Well, sort of finished, because there was lockdowns in just certain areas. Yeah. Do you remember when only Nottingham and Derby was in lockdown, the other place wasn't? I was like, oh fuck that.
There was a week or so where Rotherham was the only place.
Yes, and I was there all the time.
Yeah, and it was so. I remember them saying we're not going to do day passes. So we signed up for a membership.
Yeah, it was perfect for that. To just go to the gym as well.
I think they upped the day pass. Or something like that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
£15 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was that.
£7.50.
So what was in your? Were you thinking from then? I want to start my own gym. Or was it just?
No, the gym idea came from when I was 23 years old. Okay. And when you're a kid and you kind of go, kid, 23. You're like what? 25, yeah. Okay, you're adults now. Yeah. So when I was 23, I was like, oh, I'd be sick to own your own gym, wouldn't it?
I remember thinking that, in school and college, when what do you want to do? I think I always thought there's a few things. I always remember thinking I'd like to have a gym that's got a barbers in it and a sunbeds in it and stuff. And it's you're doing that now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got sunbeds now as well.
Not got a barbers yet.
No.
You just do it. I'll cut anyone's there.
Yeah. Just did it myself.
Just come up to me and I'll do it.
Yeah. Sort you out. Don't worry.
So you were 23. You were thinking.
Yeah, it'd be sick to have a gym. Yeah. And obviously, I went online. Okay, let's have a look. One piece of equipment, 10 grand. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to have a gym then, am I? And then I parked that idea away and started just working. 2020, I think I started coaching. Do you remember when first lockdown finished, that's when I sort of like, I want to say boomed. I didn't really boom because I'm not like a big coach, but I think I signed up like 12 people in a day. I was like, fucking hell, that's all right, you know, that's like minimum wage, you know, that's decent, that's good. And just pushed my coaching from then. I was prepping with Cuba for a men's physique comp, and I was like, I started doing some posing with Emma Heineman, and I was like, I just don't really feel men's physique. I don't like it. So I was like, look, I've pulled out the show 4 weeks out. Had a massive binge. It was horrendous.
What were we talking? Like when you say massive binge? What?
Oh, we were talking about. I woke up like sick in the bed.
Really?
Like it was bad. Like my ankles were swelled up. Cuba's had a nice little voice note sent over to me, like, mate, that's dangerous, you know. Blood pressure like 190 over God knows what.
What did you eat? Can you remember?
Oh, it was like Mackey's chocolates, just everything.
If you were to guess how many calories, like what? So you just
it's definitely over 10. It was definitely 10. 10k definitely.
In like a short period.
Oh, we're talking an evening. Yeah.
Fucking hell. An evening.
Yeah.
So what? You just decided you woke up, you took your checking photos, and you're like, fuck.
I mean, I looked sick the next day. I looked pretty sick. I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to do the show.
So that was what, 2022, yeah.
Yeah, something around there.
2021, 2022.
22.
Yeah, and then
so yeah, I coached through that time.
Yeah.
Saved quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And then my mate messaged me randomly. Oh, can I get some help coaching? I want to get in shape. And I got there, and I was like, "Do you want to open a gym?" It's like, well, I wasn't expecting that. Do you know what I mean? And like, cool, let's talk. And we just started driving around gyms, just doing a bit of research. You know, just go down to like all sorts of gyms. What's that gym? Everlast, which is nothing like special, but you know, we just tried to get the idea of what gyms I like. And I went down to Intent once. I loved it. I really loved the idea of it being. It's a bit little. It's a bit small.
Yeah.
But I just like the community there. I walked in. I met Tom. I met Ryan. I was like, look, I want something like that, a little bit bigger, but something that you can walk in and have everything, and people like just look after you. Because you know, at the beginning of this, what I said, I wasn't really, when I went to the bodybuilding, I was like, I went to a gym. There was no support, and like you don't really know what you're doing. So I think that's what I'm trying to replicate with my gym. Like if you walk in,
it is literally that, and it is intent but bigger. Like it is literally that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan, for stealing your idea. But
so you went there, and then was that a case where like immediately you were like, "That's what I want"?
I want that. I want that. And unfortunately, my friend pulled out.
So you stole all that.
James. He works for Rolls-Royce right now. He's a member of the gym. Yeah, we still talk. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Maybe open another gym.
Yeah. So what? So he pulled out, and then
he's pulled out. I mean. The financial situation of the country and like you know the rates of interest rates were pretty silly, which I understand why he pulled out. So you know there's no bad blood or anything like that. It's just all okay. But I was like, cool, I'll just do it myself. But obviously I've got half the money now, so I'm starting to look around. I was like, I don't think I'll be able to afford this. What else can I do? I remember speaking to Mel, my girlfriend at the time.
At the time,
now as well. So she's going to watch this as well.
You broken up with her in the last like.
Do I say
you did make her wait? You did make her wait on Saturday for a session.
Yes, I did.
Our leg day was very long. That was getting pissed.
Took ages.
Yeah, so
she was pissed.
Yeah, she was pissed. She's broken up recently. It's alright.
My girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, my girlfriend at the time.
I thought you were going to say you proposed or something, mate. Yeah. Now my fiance.
She'll kind of watch this.
Do it now. Propose if you want.
Anyway,
and watch it with her, and then just to the side, just tap her and be like.
Yeah. Watch this. It's coming.
God, such a bad
oh my god. But no, yeah.
Mandibles.
Yeah. Don't say that, mate. Did you hear about that?
No.
2 people proposed on their 2
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. 2 people.
That is so like.
You're not a fan of that, are you? Not?
No,
I think if you're that type of person, it's amazing. But I know Shannon would hate that.
Sanaa said literally the same. She was like, "Please never do that." I was like, "I would never."
Yeah.
No. It's about that, like you, and then you've made it about them.
But not even that. Like Shannon would also hate it doing it in front of loads of people, like in a massively public place. Okay. She'd get nervous and awkward, like, and it's like ruins the moment if you feel awkward.
All it is though, it saves the price of having to hire your own photographer.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
clever. You know what I mean? Be like, show shoots, email, send it over.
I mean, Mel keeps scrolling through it, and she's like, these rings keep popping up on my phone. Honestly, what rings? I've got to buy more machines. You know, I don't know what you're on about.
You know,
Reese comes in and he wants more plates.
Class.
So yeah, I walked away and I started looking at maybe a PT studio, because obviously half the money gone. I was like, it's going to be a tough one. Yeah. And then randomly out the blue, I was like, I'm going to just start looking abroad, you know, just see where else I can get kit from. And I started finding some really good deals, which I thought, I'm going to get fucked over here, like really bad. Yeah. But I travelled to Poland, I had a look at it, I was like, pretty decent, cool. Yeah. Went down, and from then just started buying equipment slowly, just collecting stuff, lucky enough. I think I've just been very lucky. I've got a lot of people that have been there for me at the right time. Like my grandparents, for example, they've got my granddad built this massive garage for his one car, and there's nothing else. Yeah. So I was like, Granddad, can I put some stuff in there? Yeah. So I just started buying kit and just getting it shipped to him, and just storing stuff, so nice classic bits. And once I've had
all before you had anywhere.
I've not even had a place, nothing. Yeah. I was just buying kit because I was like, I'm buying at a price where if I need to, I'll just sell it, whatever. Yeah. But for now, I'll just keep buying kit. Yeah. And that's at the time when, well, it's been a year ago, so now a year and a bit ago, where you saw like those pieces of Nautilus and everything just going up and up and up. Yeah. So I was like, I'm onto a win here. So I just kept on buying stuff. Worst case scenario, I'll just sell it and just have my money back and not going to have a gym. Anyway. And lucky enough, I've managed to find a unit. But yeah, collected quite a bit of kit. And I was like, cool, I think it's time to start looking for a unit. So I found my first, it was a night, I told you about this. Finding a unit for a gym is a nightmare. Yeah. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants you. Yeah. Especially when you've not had a physical business before. They just look at you and go, no, it's not going to work. Yeah. What do you want from us? Yeah. Landed a unit, the current one. Do you remember the first side of the gym? What was it? I thought it was like 3,700 square foot.
It's decent stuff.
I really like that, but I always
it's quite personal.
Yeah, I don't think the new one's much bigger, is it?
No, well, it's double the size.
Is it?
Yeah,
Doesn't feel it.
It doesn't feel it, no, because on the old side, all the machines were really crammed in, but because obviously I'm a bit low on kit. Well, not low, but I could do with a lot more machines. I've spread it out a little bit more on this side, so I can make it look, a bit more busy. Yeah. But we can cram a lot more stuff in there.
Yeah, if you needed to.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like empty though. It still feels full, doesn't it?
Yeah. So there's no machines back to back in that gym, which obviously back in, if you put machines back to back, it saves you so much room. Yeah. Which the first gym was basically everything crammed in as I could.
With a little corner, where you had like the preacher, not the, you had the tricep extension.
Yes.
The machine, the presses, you had the shoulder press literally in front of that. You had like tricep extension. That was actually like machine.
Literally. But even there, it didn't feel. I don't think I ever felt like it's so crammed in here.
No. And to be fair, we were quite busy at the time because obviously we've got Ultraflex Derby open now, so that pulled a little bit of the crowd, especially a little bit of day passes here and there.
Yeah. But no serious member though.
No. We've got all the serious bodybuilders. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it was quite busy when I've opened. Like, I was quite shocked at how many people we get. Because, when you're opening a business, you kind of go, well, this is going to go to shit, isn't it?
Well, like any business.
It's worrying.
I'll randomly just think to myself, I'm just going to lose all my clients. Yeah. I'm going to wake up and just be broke and literally be like, I need to get a job. Like, it happens.
Maybe when you improve your service, mate, if you're thinking that.
No, really? Oh, cheers, mate. Everyone has.
I'm listening here, The next topic we go on to, I may change my mind about who I choose for a coach.
It is normal.
Fena, are you taking on?
It is normal, isn't it? I'll have, especially, mate, post-show, that my head was a mess with stuff like that. Like if I lost one client, I was like, oh my god, like I'm gonna lose all my clients.
I get this now, mate. Though cause I've started coaching again, and I think I'm on with like 14 clients, which is quite low. But I lose one, and it's like, oh fuck, this is it. Like nobody's going to want to sign up with me.
No. Everyone's going to know he's left.
Yeah, he's gone.
But then within like the next day or whatever, you've got someone else who's probably a really good client, and it's like,
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, and so first month you opened up, stress was probably pretty high.
Yeah,
anxiety was pretty high.
I mean, it still is. It still is.
Yeah, of course. But you were thinking when you opened up, you were like, right, what was you said to me like you exceeded expectations massively.
Yeah. So like we've opened up. I think we had 100 members within like week 1, week 2. So I was like, fucking hell. For a little gym, that's not really. I've not put much. I don't want to say didn't put much effort. I put quite a lot of my budget into machines and kit because obviously that's what we really care about. But obviously, a gym cannot only run on bodybuilders. There's not enough of us, let's be honest. So I was a bit wary of like, oh, it's an industrial unit. I could have done a bit more paint here. I could have done a bit more here. But a lot of the budget has went on the kit. So it was like, that's, I think, where mainly the stress came from.
Yeah. But if it was the other way around...
If you had shit kit and it was painted well, you wouldn't get the members you want as well. Like we wouldn't go if it was just like, oh, it's painted nice. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, the lighting's cool. Yeah. Like it's a cool gym, but the kit needs to be
nice. Kit's like the most important thing right now. Yeah. I remember when I started posting, like I've opened up. This is literally like a year and 2-3 days ago, where I've opened the Instagram page and I've posted the first piece, and I think it was like the Nautilus pull down.
Yeah, I remember like when we saw the posts or when we saw the page coming up, it was like coming to Derby soon. And then there was a few good pieces of kit, and we're like, this looks good.
Yeah, I remember the Photoshop skills were appalling.
That's not me. My girlfriend did that. So,
Mel did that. Yeah, your girlfriend at the time.
Girlfriend at the time.
Girlfriend
now.
At the time. Yeah, girlfriend at the time. Okay.
Maybe that's the reason we're not engaged yet.
But what? Because of her photo shoot?
Because of the photo shoot skills.
Really no, she would like to, but.
No. She's going to kill me for this. She's going to be like, from now on, you're doing everything on your own. Speaking of which,
no more podcasts.
Speaking of which, I bet she's at home right now and she's doing my like sunbed prices and things right now. So I can't
helps
complain.
Out a lot. Like,
loads, mate. Loads. Yeah, honestly, I couldn't do this job without her. Yeah, 100%.
What is she? The calmness of it, where you're a little bit more manic?
Yeah. Because I always, like you just said, I'm going to lose all my clients. Yeah. I'm the same. Like when Ultraflex Derby's opening, like, mate. This is it, this is it. Yeah. But obviously, you need to remember there's people that like different things. Do you know what I mean? Like, certain people like Ultra, certain people will like, independent gyms like EP Jungle, for example. Yeah. There's a niche market for everyone.
What do you think your selling point is?
My selling point? Good question.
If you were to have like not a niche, but like what's your main, like, what would
USP.
be your, for
I think... I choose quite a lot of equipment, and I do really pick things very carefully. I don't spend my money stupid. One is because I don't have the crazy amount of money. 2 is I really do believe if you can collect a lot of good equipment in one place, it does really create a good atmosphere because it does pull in the right people.
Yeah.
Your gym, obviously, I feel like the important things about the gym is obviously having the equipment, but then your atmosphere plays a big role. And, if you've got the right equipment, you will get the right people, essentially.
Yeah, you're almost like, I feel like, for example, like Ultraflex, any of them, you're spoilt for choice to an extent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas, like, at Be Modified, it's like, you're not spoilt for choice, but it's like the kit that you've got, you don't have to worry about it. Like, we won't have to go like, but that doesn't, I don't think we've ever said like, I don't like that, or it doesn't feel great. Yeah. We're happy to just jump on anything, whereas at an Ultraflex, there's loads of kit, but there's also a lot of pretty poor kit.
Yeah, if you're training back at Ultraflex Derby, all of it is upper back. It's not very good. Legs is really good. Legs is fine. But I feel like with yours, it's like the quantity's less, but the quality's a lot higher across the board, which is, in my opinion, is more important. I'd much rather that,
saying on top, to add what you're saying is, I've done a story about that actually not long ago, funny enough, is I've pretty much said, anyone coming to my gym, you don't have to worry about your choices. Whatever you go on, whatever you got, because right now bodybuilding's in a place where if I was to start bodybuilding now, I'd be a bit fucked. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what do you do? What do you choose?
So it's like,
Maybe you jump on gear before the 175.
maybe
you just go, I need to jump on gear immediately.
Straight away,
before the first ever flat bench, you're like, test.
I'm doing it now.
Test 400.
So there's just so much out there. It's so complex.
Yeah.
Well, it really doesn't need to be, because great kit's important, but you know.
Yeah, I think having that vibe is probably the most important thing with the kit. Like you
Yeah.
said, like we've said before, especially when we were training, like a few times during the back end of Finn's prep, where obviously we were training, and then we like Finn.
It was like a godsend in my prep.
And I remember like every time we walked in, we literally used to repeat the same line. Like it just feels like a gym, and not many gyms feel
we were
like
training
gyms.
at Premier. And Premier's a great gym. I really like it and the equipment.
You trained at Premier gym?
I haven't, no.
The
But I met Rob.
Rob's great.
Yeah.
I really like the gym, but the vibe is very much. The leg room's better now upstairs, but it doesn't feel like a gym. Like how it's set up, like it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't really feel like a gym. Like the plates are all plastic plates, like things like that. Like whereas at your gym, like when we first went, it was like I honestly think like it massively helped me mentally in the prep, because it was like a new location. It was like fresh, new people, really good equipment.
The room was good.
The lighting in the posing room made me look like I was
protein powder.
He
loves this. He loves this.
Protein powder.
My food focus was so high.
I'm gonna give a background here. So Finn was like deep into prep, and Jakub would never ever mention to me any whey protein. He just literally had like,
it was because we'd spoken about it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like he was trying to...
I didn't like deal him protein on the side.
I walked in, he was like,
no. He'd be like, what's up, Reece? How you doing, man? You good? And I'm like, yeah, sound. And then he'd go, yo, Finn, new whey, new perform. He was like, it's really good, bro. And I remember looking over once, and you were like, bro, it's really good. And then Finn was like, okay, I'll get some.
I'll have all these.
And it was almost literally just like, Finn was just hooked. I remember I walked off. I literally was on the treadmill upstairs, and Finn was just looking at these wheys going, yeah, I'll have that one. I'll take that
I'm
one.
not joking.
And you were just like, yeah, sure. This one's really good as well, bro.
I'm not joking, honestly. So we opened loads of the little perform tubs.
Yeah.
I think you were the only one buying them, mate. Like, genuinely. I ended up having like...
those little ones, the sample ones.
Yeah, the sample ones. And I was like, Mel, they ain't selling. I'm going to have to... Like, I started just taking them home. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm just going to use the rest of this.
And we were like, what day is it? Oh, yeah, Finn trains.
Yeah.
It's because I was having... So for my last meal, was I having oats? I think, It was towards the end of the prep, I started to have oats as my last meal. And obviously, when you use a different way, it completely changes the flavour of the oats. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I was having one different way, and then I was like, I've already had that one. No, I might have to try a new one.
This one.
And because you were selling them in the little samples, I was loving it. I was taking like three. I remember I was walking down the street
with cups.
Yeah. With cups like this.
No, it's so weird how food focus works, because my food focus is the opposite to that, where I don't want change because I know I like something. So I wouldn't risk, like if I found a way that I liked in my oats, I'd just be like, I really like that. I don't want to try anything else in case I eat it and go.
I'm like that in off season.
Yeah, that's how I feel like all the time.
Yeah.
Like I just, if I like it, I don't want to even risk the chance that it might go from an 8 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. Because I'm like,
I'm like this.
The risk wasn't bad because it were like a £2.
Yeah.
But if you've already made your oats, I wouldn't have the energy to be like, let me just make my oats again. You know?
Oh no, I'd do it as a sludge, and then like I know if I like it anyway. So if I didn't like the sludge,
and then you have more weight. No wonder, mate. You fucking
no. I was
no wonder.
Overspilled on protein. Okay.
No, like I'd try it as a sludge, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, Sam, that's going to be good in my oats.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was like, in all seriousness, I know like you might come across as quite like soppy and everything, but like I do think like you opening the gym did massively help me like throughout the prep, because I was like, I didn't realise how negative the environment was at Premier. And it wasn't Premier, it was just me at Premier.
No, but also, you didn't want to train there afterwards. I remember when I finished prep, I went there.
You said the same, didn't you?
I went there a few days after, and it was just because we were there constantly. I went there a few days after, and I literally like walked in, and I almost was like, I don't want to talk to me. I don't want to be here. And I was like thinking to myself, why the fuck am I not wanting to be here?
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything about Premier itself. It was just when you're at the same gym that isn't feeling like a gym.
Yeah.
When you're in an off season, it's fine because weights are weights.
Yeah.
But I feel like, especially when your mental resources are running low, you need to walk in and be like, this is a fucking gym. Yeah. And if you don't get that, you need that impetus to be
hard
like,
to find it on your own when you're drained and you're low energy.
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
I mean, obviously, like you asked, what's the selling point of the gym, or what's unique about it? Like, obviously, I feel like it's more of a like a club gym where you come down, let's put your music on. I'm always open to all sorts of music.
Unless they turn the music off because they're deep in prep.
Yeah, turn the music off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hey, we're allowed to mention it.
Do we mention it?
Yeah, we're allowed.
Well, I've not dealt with it, so it's okay.
What, you just ignored it?
Well, I was talking. I think I was busy talking to you. I think it was you I was
selling
talking
to.
Selling
way.
You told me, like, I think it was like maybe just before I'd come in, because you told me afterwards. You were like, this just happened.
Okay. Well, I was talking to someone. The music went off, but because we've got those Bluetooth speakers, they just sometimes cut off. Like someone puts the food in the microwave, like you do. No, they're not very reliable. So sometimes the music just cuts off. But someone switched the music off deep in prep, and Mel told me, he's just switched it off. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Like,
didn't he say as well, like,
I'm prepping, I don't like the music.
Something like that. Something like that. But yeah.
Speaking of that, so again, let's just put that down to he's a bit tired, the music's loud, he's pissed off. He's a nice guy away from that, I think. I've heard. When it comes to people in the gym, have you had any bad, what's a couple of like worst experiences? Because I was actually chatting to a person yesterday at a gym in Lutterworth, and I was chatting to him about a gym, and I was like, I like Lutterworth wouldn't be a bad area, I just hate the fucking people. And he was like, probably me, and I was like, no, you'd be fine. I would just want 50% of the people to sign up, not to sign up, and I would literally be like, no memberships available, bro, don't come. And that's probably my issue, but that's because I've lived near Lutterworth for years, and I've trained in Lutterworth gyms for years.
If I opened one back at home, I'd be like, people from school would be like,
So, has there been any like bad experiences?
I don't have anything exciting.
What about somebody breaking bits of kit and then going famous on TikTok? And then
that's positive, isn't it? That's positive.
That's positive. People like the gym owner needs to make him pay.
I worked my way up the ladder at the gym. I used to work in, and you learn how to fix kit. So we're good. We're good. I fix kit pretty quick. No, surprisingly, I think because obviously we're in Derby, but we're in this like little village, a mile away from Derby. So it's that part is actually a very nice part of Derby. So
Starbucks is nice.
We don't really have the bad members and.
Yeah, I guess that's true, isn't it? I don't feel like we've ever, even like we often say, there's like a lot of gimps in gyms.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever really had much of an issue with anybody.
That knocked me out after deadlifts.
Oh yeah.
He's funny. Yeah, he's funny.
He just wants to knock me out.
He just wants to knock you out.
Or just wanted to stay.
You just lift too much weight. That's the problem.
Like, fuck him up.
I'll fuck him up anyway. So it
doesn't matter what he said. Fuck him up.
Yeah.
But he's funny. I like him. But other than that, I've never really thought to myself, what's this like? Sometimes, like, especially when you're training like an Ultraflex gym.
Yeah.
My first, I went to, I don't know if I told you, I went to the new Ultraflex Leeds.
Yeah.
And I literally, first ever session there, I saw a girl film a set on a hamstring curl, finish the set, move her camera on a tripod, then replicated the set doing one rep with like the same sort of tempo, but her face copied the same face, so she did one rep, and she copied what she did facially, so she could probably like mix up a reel where it looks like she's got two angles, and it's like, that's not training.
No.
Like, that doesn't happen at your gym. That's where
she was doing a rest pause set.
She did one rep, and it was like, mate, there was like 8 in reserve. No, one rep.
IPs? LPs?
Nah, it was bad. It was like, and she literally finished, checked the angle, and then she made sure it like looked the same, and I was like, that's stupid. And I feel like, unfortunately, Ultraflexes attract those sort of individuals.
Yeah, I don't think it's Ultraflex's fault. I don't think it's their fault because they're very well kitted, and obviously they've got a very good name for themselves. It's a paradise for bodybuilding, let's be honest. But because of such a strong name in the industry, it attracts people that it shouldn't attract. The wannabe bodybuilders. The bodybuilding is just too trendy right now.
And people who think they're entitled to not looking after the kit and stuff, like they constantly have to say, don't they, on the tannoy? They constantly. Dude, it's like every couple of hours. Can you please respect the kit? Can you please put your weights away? Like they have to say it all the time.
Well, I see some stories pop up here and there, and I'm like, this is out of order, that's out of order. That's it's people just disrespecting the equipment and not really caring.
And also, like you say, with you, if something's out of order, it's you, the owner, who sorts it like that. Yeah. Whereas like they'll maybe have to get somebody in to sort it. Yeah. Remember, like when I worked at Pure Gym, like kit would be out for literally weeks. Like I'm not even joking. Like it'd be like weeks or months on end, and everyone would be like, "What is going on?" Like,
I'm surprised gyms don't hire handymen, like just guys that just
know what they're doing. Yeah.
It's not hard.
No.
A tip for gyms:
Yeah,
just
like they had to bring the Matrix.
Guys.
Hire me.
Like Pure had to bring Matrix people in.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. That's under the contract, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So let's move on from that. Goals for this year, because let's go back to you being a bit of an athlete.
Let's go back to Cuba. So you were coached by Cuba. Then what happened from there?
I sort of.
Why'd you sack Cuba?
Gave you a cuff lateral.
No,
because Cuba, he was originally a bit of a meathead.
Yes.
2019 Cuba, meathead, like throwing weight around. Yeah. Then like 2021, it was when he started to wear his glasses.
He got more.
He used to wear,
that's when he got Marty with me doing deadlifts.
Is that what it was? He sacked him for deadlifts.
You're not a powerlifter. You're a bodybuilder.
Because he definitely transitioned.
Yeah, you can't deadlift.
He definitely transitioned. Like we saw it firsthand, where it's like he went from like meathead bodybuilder throwing weight around to being like optimal. A bit more analytical. Now I think he's probably
hanging out with AJ too much.
Yeah, AJ Morris. He's reverted back a little bit now, I think. I feel like it's dropped.
Yeah, he's got a good middle ground.
Yeah, which is good. But I definitely think he went a little bit the other way, which isn't a bad thing, but obviously probably not what you want.
Thing is, he's the coach I've been with for the longest time. So for me to go and say, oh no, he was a shit coach, it's a lie.
No, I wasn't expecting to say a shit coach.
He was very good. I think because I left him just before I started pushing my own coaching, my work. I was like, I'm set on a gym. I'm going to open a gym. I can't bodybuild like I want to bodybuild. I need to sort myself out. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'll just be working 9-5 forever. Yeah. So I was like, cool, I'm going to put the bodybuilding a little bit on the side. I still trained. I still did my own thing, coached myself. It was off season, Well, I just train hard, Save some money, obviously, not having a coach. Cuba was like, I think it was 200 at the time. It was 150 and it's gone up to 200. So I was like, cool, I'm going to save myself some money here. It was just personal. Yeah.
So when did you leave? 2022?
Yeah, something like that.
And then you've been for the last year and a half, just
sort of on my own. I've had help from Jamie Harrison. He's at Woodford Derby. He's turned me around pretty quick. Yeah.
You did out with him last year, didn't you?
Yeah. So basically,
did he turn up at the gym? Did you know him beforehand?
Well, I saw him at Physique Evolution in Derby when he was doing his show when he placed second, I think, when Reese turned pro. And
not me, guys.
No,
I'm not pro.
No,
not yet.
Pro.
Give me a few years.
No. I saw him. I was like, fucking hell, he looks. Physique's not that kind of gym that
you'd see
has pro bodybuilders or like to be pro bodybuilders, because I'm pretty sure I think he'll turn pro this year.
I
think
he looks like
he looks really good. Yeah. So he came into the gym once, and I was like, I just started speaking to him. And I said, look, I'm looking for a coach. This is where I'm at. My physique's pretty shit. I've been just eating takeaways and building the gym. So it's not looking great. And we just did a nice clean-up. I think we did 8, 10, 12 weeks, something like that. Yeah. I've been not 100% on it, but he's turned me around pretty well. And then I've moved gyms from the old unit to the newer unit. It's the same unit, but just across the bigger unit. I was busy. I was busy. Yeah. The amount of refurb that overran at least by 2 months because we found issues with the changing rooms and the other businesses coming in, and it was just a nightmare. Yeah, it's all done now. So that's.
What is the other business that's going to be in the other side?
So it's quite a big unit. There's currently a yoga sort of classes studio, which one of my friends, funny enough, from Nuffield, she runs that. And they all, her mate, and the landlord are looking at opening like a classes gym where the free weight section used to be in my gym. So there's going to be like a track sort of. Yeah. So we'll probably have like a membership where we can join together. And then they're just starting works on the cafe, which is as you walk into the gym, literally on the right, so you'll be able to just pop in.
That's cool.
Not go to Starbucks. Yeah. Come to us. And I think there's a dance school or something like that, which is not really related, but yeah.
No, fair enough.
I was going to think I literally just thought when I looked at your jacket, hoodie. Yeah. How did you come up with the name?
I'm into cars. I like cars. Yeah. Do we mention that I beat you in a race?
No, that was bad.
And I've just downgraded cars as well. Have you seen what I drive? Have you seen what I drive?
Yeah,
I smoked him, bro.
No,
I smoked him.
did you say, admittedly, I went through like multiple red lights?
I can't say it on camera, mate.
I've got a story. No. Go on, I'll tell a story in a minute. Go on.
Yeah, so I always was into cars, love cars, modified. It just popped up. I was like, oh. You sort of modify your body, be modified.
It just came up.
And we went with it, yeah. And the Gorillas my mate just came up with it and just flew it up together and we got a logo.
That's cool.
What was the story?
The story was, so not long after I'd passed my test, so I was like, 17, 18. Me and one of my mates were basically driving, and then, Bri. Yeah, Bri was driving. Kyle and Matt were on the car. Basically, like me and one of my mates, and then three of my other mates in another car. Yeah. And we were like driving, like racing back from Donny to back at home.
How far? How was the drive?
The drive's like 20 minutes, half an hour.
I was like 10.
Yeah. This race was like the last 5 minutes, right? Yeah. And there's like a junction where you can go like either way, and I was like, I'm gonna go this way. And it's a lot longer. It's a longer way, but I was like, I reckon I've got this. Like I went that way, and Will was like my
co-pilot.
Yeah, like my co-pilot, but mate, who bless him, who shit himself. I did multiple things I shouldn't have ever done, and I was like looking back, I was like, I am so lucky that like nothing happened. Like I was literally going stupid speed through like a normal village.
Yeah,
I went up a hill where you can't see anything, and I was overtaking cars up this hill where you can't see anything coming the other way, and I was like, I just didn't care. I was like, I want to win this race.
I need to win.
Did you win the race?
Yeah, I won.
Okay.
And like I was in. I think Brian just got like a new car. Maybe he had like a new Scirocco or something, and it was a lot faster than my Clio. Yeah. And I won. And I was like, honestly, it was like the best feeling ever.
I mean, do we say what I drive and what you drive?
Yeah, I literally have like just a better version of it by like 10 times.
I've got like a 120D. I bought it for like $3,000.
What's the horsepower on it? Like 130?
Mate.
So I have like a 4 times faster
I want to say like 100 something because.
But let me interject. It was a place. It's your roads going home. It's to your house.
You know
those roads. Yeah, but I just went the way of the sat-nav, and you're like, I went the other way. I went through multiple red lights. Like, I didn't break any laws other than just double the speed limit, maybe triple.
That's breaking laws.
Yeah, but you
race is a race, mate. You know, that's
the rules.
There is no rules.
The officer, I'm racing.
Racing.
So they go, you're racing.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Just don't let me catch you again. You better win.
Don't race, guys.
Yeah,
don't do it.
But that was fun.
Learn anything.
Yeah.
Sanaya, we saw a car like pull into where he lives. Me and Snow were like, surely not, because we've like
Sanaya was in
it.
The car.
Yeah, and she was like,
surely.
Yeah, she was like, surely not, and I like floor it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Jacob, he's there. I was like, I didn't want to get out of the car. I was literally
just go home.
Yeah, I'm just going home.
Just drive home.
Just leave all that stuff. Just drive home.
Yeah, leave it.
So yeah, that was what was that for? Mel's birthday, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That was a
nice
so
back to you as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So you were with
Cuba. I left.
Then
Jamie.
Why'd you leave Jamie?
The gym. Busy.
You sure?
Yeah.
Training? Not really your groove, was it?
Yeah. No, don't you say that.
You do seem to be very training orientated, which isn't a bad thing.
I find that like with clients like yourself, like I would just be like, right, mate do your own training.
Yeah.
Which I did with Jamie at the beginning. The whole diet we did, I did my training. Yeah. Well, he sent me a full plan, and I sort of like didn't follow the plan. And I just started doing my own thing. I said, look, mate, this is what I'm doing. It's okay. And then when I moved over, I thought, okay, I'm going to take things seriously now. And I said, look, why don't you take my own training? And don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad. I just got my own ways, and I'm just very difficult to coach, I think.
For training, that is, yeah. But you have your own preferences. You know what works for you, and you know what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And like I was saying to you when you were telling me all this exercise that you're doing, you weren't enjoying. I was like, just do that then. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It is crazy how people overcomplicate. The amount of times that I'll have clients like message me, or in a check-in, they're like really stressed. Like, mate, I'm really sorry, but I just don't like. I'm like, that's fine. Yeah. Like, we can just do this instead, or tell me what do you like for training your back? What do you feel that you get the best connection with? Okay, let's do that. And like, people think it's a big deal. It's like it's not.
Exercise choice. It does matter, but it really doesn't.
No, like,
do you know what I mean?
Like,
like
exercise selection is not going to be a massive factor.
As long as you enjoy it, and you by enjoying it, you're going to push it.
What do you enjoy then? Like, what's your style of training for people that don't know? Like, I know you said like power building and stuff like that. If you were to like specify, like, let's say a push session, a pull, a legs, what things you enjoy?
Benching. I love benching, but I'm okay with flat, like Smith. I moved over to Smith, which I'm happy with. I like to pull heavy off the floor. I don't really like to control it on the way down. And I don't care if it bids me one muscle or not. Do you know what I mean? I just don't care. Yeah. I'm not going to the Olympia.
You said from the floor. Why are you pulling from blocks with Reece?
I mix it up. You see, I mix it up.
Me too, mate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be doing 340 kilos.
Yeah,
easy.
Jacob did
easy.
340.
Yeah, I did it before him.
Jacob's progression scheme. Finn, have you heard about his progression scheme? His hinges. So we did 260. We both did 260.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's bad. He then did 300 for like five
reps.
Then 310 for 2 or 3.
2 or 3, yeah.
Then
2, I think.
Then 300 for 0.
Yeah.
Then 260 for 1. So that was in the same session, 300 for 1 and 260. So in the next session, then goes back in on 300 and gets like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You were like, I don't think I can do 300 kilos. So it was like progression, massive regression, slight progression.
Yeah.
Like,
deload, mate.
Yeah.
Deload.
I need a deload.
Yeah, it's a great progression scheme. But no, you like heavy hinges.
My
hacks are very good.
My hacks are really good.
Not as good as Storm's though.
No.
He's got an agenda against Storm.
Yeah,
Right.
he wears a belt though.
Storm does more. So Jacob was like, "I'm the most." He's like, "No one's done more than me on that Cybex hack." No. And then he said, "I saw Storm do 7 plates on the Cybex hack."
What?
So I did
not his.
Gym unit.
Yeah, so I did.
What gym unit is like, you see.
Yeah, it must be like.
And then he just randomly goes, "Storm wears a belt. I might wear a belt." And it's just like literally randomly. No one's mentioned Storm.
Yeah.
He's just there. And he's just like.
To be fair, you should wear a belt on that hack. Yeah. It does make it a lot easier.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, your Cybex hack's good. I did you on the 4-plate back offset though.
You did. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, you're so much stronger now. I'd fuck you up now, bro.
Easy.
So what? Cybex hack.
Cybex hack. Yeah, I just like the compounds. I like the compounds and just throw in some isolations to finish things off. Yeah. Like your current upper session. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Honestly, love it. Yeah. I looked for it. You've done a post. I think training it at Ultra Derby. Yeah. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah.
Just like literally, for me, it's like 3 main presses, 3 main pulls, and then arms at the end. Yeah. Cool. And it's perfect. I go in, Smith press first, wicked. And it's like, it's really fun. Like, it ruins me at the end.
Yeah, I bet.
But it's like 3 just big main movements for each. Yeah. And it's like, by the end, I'm smashed, but it's very good fun. Yeah. Where like, I've done upper sessions in the past where it's like lateral raise, pec fly, rear delt. And it's like, you end up doing the same amount of exercises.
On an upper session, you can't have loads of like fluff.
No,
it just tends to be way too
It's
long.
Like training arms. Do you know what I mean?
You can do your fluff work like at the end of a back day, like do rear delts, do a bit of arms or whatever, or at the end of push, like side delts. But I find on upper, if you've got like a lot of those isolations, it is just too demanding.
And who doesn't want to lift heavy? I don't understand. Yeah. Like, I understand if you're like injured and just fucked up, but like.
Yeah, I literally said today, didn't I? I was like, it feels fun to actually be doing something somewhat challenging again because I've not been able to do properly with my back. But like, I don't get, like you say, people who don't like. Surely everyone likes that feeling. Yeah. Like you can't not like that.
What did we speak about? Literally at the beginning of this, bench 175, jumped on gear. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you bench? That's what everyone cares about. Nobody cares why.
Yeah, nobody cares. Like now, like imagine someone asking you, like, "Oh, what's like? How do you set up your iliac pull down?" Like that's what it'll be in 20 years.
What were we talking about the gym today?
What's this?
What was he? I bought a new decline bench for the gym, and someone's like biasing their abdominal pec head or something, mate.
Yeah, which is like what the fuck.
But the problem for the ab crunch.
Yeah, but you put on your story a message being like, "Hey mate, is this better for my lats? Or like, is this more lat bias than the other row you had?" It's like as much as you want to make it, bro. Yeah. Like, and I feel like that's the actual appropriate answer. Like if somebody said to you straight up, "What do you bench?" You go, "Oh, I've done this before." But if someone said, "Oh, what do you do for lats?" It's just like, just bro, just train,
just rub your elbow against the lats. That's about it.
Like you say, it's like nowadays it is so complex. Like, I think because we've all been in it a while, like you kind of just like blur out the noise that's like irrelevant. Yeah. But like even we'll post stuff that people will find complicated that we don't think is complicated. We're trying to simplify it, but it's probably still complicated.
I say a lot less now. Like when I was like when we were in lockdown, I explained every time I posted a session, I would explain why I'm doing it, what the purpose is, and I don't do that now because I don't need to, but secondly, I don't want to. I don't want just to put out that I'm doing this because of X, Y, or Z. Yeah. If someone messages me, I'll happily reply, or you'll happily reply and create drama. Why off blocks or whatever it is, like because he's weak, and then the guy replies, "Oh, well, you do it as well." You're weak.
Mate, we mates now. Mate, we talking Polish as well and everything. We started talking. Yeah, mate, we started talking. He's asking me all these advice. Probably got a client off you.
That's good. Fair enough. So where does that lead us now? So where you're at right now, bodyweight wise? Because you're prepping this year?
I will be. Yeah, that's the plan. I just feel like it's time. Yeah. We had this conversation. Yeah. So obviously, I've pulled out of the show. First of all, I've competed once. I've done a very stupid show. What is it called?
It was NFM, wasn't it?
NFM UK, muscle model, wasn't good looking enough, didn't win.
Is that why? If you were better looking,
I'm guessing that. No, I just didn't get it. You seen the picture? I've overspilled. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, you were ready a week.
Yeah, I was ready.
Ready the morning.
Yeah, ready. No, you know what it was? You couldn't pump up properly.
Yeah.
You were rushed before, so you were ready before.
Yeah. And then you had to wait too long.
Yeah, and then you couldn't get your pre-stage meal in.
Basically, I had a pizza like 2 weeks out. I didn't care. You know what I mean? I was at that
point.
To
be fair, looking at how you looked, you probably had a pizza like 2 days out as well, didn't
Possibly.
You? Every day, 2 weeks.
Yeah. Did you have a pizza every day? To be honest.
I had a lot of pizza.
I had a lot of pizza. That's what I was about. So you competed in, what was that, a few years back, didn't it?
Yeah, so I was 25, so 6 years ago.
Okay, yeah, and then this year is the year that you're like, right, I actually do step on stage.
Yeah.
Less talk, I feel like, is probably the best, because the amount of times you've said to me in the gym, I just want to see how I do. And it's like, you can see how you do by getting on stage.
Yeah. And I'm at a point where I said, if I don't compete and do another off season, I don't really know, because I'm decided I want to stay in classic.
No.
We can leave the debate whether I'm classic or not to maybe a different day. But like, I don't really feel like I've got the time on my hands to go into open. I'm just too old.
No.
Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? So I think if I stay in classic, maybe I can do something on the bodybuilding stage. Hopefully, it's a challenge.
No.
So if I was to take an off season now, I don't know which way to take it. You know, I'm not saying I'm touching the cap. I'm not going to be one of those. He's like 232 on stage, bang on. I'm definitely going to be way under. But I want to put the muscle in the right places if I am to compete again in the future. So it's. Competing now is probably a good idea.
You really need to improve.
What do I need?
Once you get into stage condition,
we know I need hamstrings.
Yeah.
You know that. So do you?
And biceps as well.
I had an injury for 1 year. Injury for 1 year.
I need an injury.
I need an
injury.
I need an injury.
Another excuse.
And then randomly, like, your delts are downsized, but like, injury, bro.
Injury, bro.
Yeah, I had an injury. Yeah, they were looking so good, and I got injured. No, I think this year will be good for you. Would you want to get into the questions? Because we can get into the question. I got a question saying about prep.
Yeah.
And it was literally just like, firstly, it was who's going to be prepping you. So who is prepping you, mate?
You are.
I am.
Yes.
I think I said to Finn, I was like, if you actually listen, you'll be sound. But I also think our relationship is good because we train on Saturdays.
Yeah.
The session's always good. We can have that as like a in-person check-in. I'll see you throughout the week. You'll be talking to me throughout the week anyway. And I think there's that level of respect between us where I think you'll actually will listen to what I say, because I know that you value my opinion quite highly.
And I care about your business. Like, I wouldn't want to be the guy who, obviously, if I turned up on stage fat, nobody would say, "Oh yeah, Reed's done shit. It's me." But you know what I mean? Like, I want to do well for not just myself, for you as well. Yeah.
No, and to be fair, I said I haven't told any of my other clients, but I said to Jacob, I've got a few other people doing the show.
Yeah.
And the guys doing it are like pretty good.
Yeah, they're decent.
And honestly, wouldn't surprise me if all the others are into the overall, because they're very, very good for their class. Yeah. So I said to Jacob, I was like, just make sure you're doing the work, buddy, because these are the clients. They're coming. They're going to be in other classes, but they're going to be doing the same show. And you're like, fuck, better actually listen.
Yeah.
Which show is it? Which show is the first show you're looking at?
15th of September, was it? Yeah, 15th of September.
Yeah, PCA Midlands. So the one that Finley did last year, the week before, the first time one. And then we kind of projected like either Fitex or Two Bros in between.
Yeah,
like just kind of we'll have PCA first, like not the first time, so the one before the first time, so Midlands, and then finals. So that'll be like first and last show. Yeah. And then seeing how you fall in between and seeing if there's any shows that align up. But I think it makes sense based off location, because it's not Birmingham's not too far from me. I'm like near, so we can sort something out in the final few days, something like that, and it'll be quite a cool. Like, it's not where you have to fucking travel halfway across the country, especially when you've got a gym.
It's always a good show as well. The Midlands one.
Yeah, Midlands one is really.
It is. It's a nice venue.
Yeah,
very nice venue.
Yeah, we said Mel did her show.
Yeah.
There's a stone wall outside that you need to get a photo.
Yeah, I know exactly which one.
Yeah, do you actually?
Yeah.
Everyone takes a photo.
Everyone knows, mate.
So yeah, that'll be good. But I think it'll be exciting. I think we're about a month and 2 days away. I'm looking at the date. A month and 2 days away from starting prep. Was it like back end of next month?
Yeah. I mean, like I told you, I go away for a quick holiday. 3-4 days.
Where are you going?
Germany.
Whereabouts?
Theme park.
Theme park?
Yeah, cool.
Okay, yeah, he's going to a wicked theme park.
It is sick.
Yeah, he was telling me all about it. He was like, "Oh, there's different areas, different countries, and stuff like that."
And there's
apparently you're only allowed in the Polish area. Is that correct?
There is no Polish area. And the theme park's in Germany.
Yeah, it's scary that.
What's this about?
Instant PTSD kicks in.
Yeah. In the trenches, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
In the trenches. Literally in the trenches.
Yeah. No, so you go away 12th and then you're pretty much going to be starting prep.
Yeah, 15, 16th I'm back. Yeah, straight on.
Yeah, which was my suggestion, because when he was talking, he didn't mention anything about Mel, and I was like, mate, you need to actually, before you start prep, because you've opened a gym, do something together. And then Mel was like, that'd be nice. And Jacob was like, oh yeah, I probably should do that.
Yeah.
But it is important, especially.
It is nice.
Yeah, we'll get it done. And we've not been on holiday, like, away, like, out of England ever. Yeah. No, we went to Poland, but that's not really. I went for like business reasons. Really, she tagged along, so it's not really a holiday. So just in the evenings we had time to go out and explore and whatever. Yeah. But it's not a full on. We're nice. Away.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So questions.
Yeah.
Big fan of his physique and knows his shit. Self-prepping this year, also getting a coach. Obviously, you've explained that, but he said he's a big fan of your physique and you know your shit.
I know my shit.
I don't know. Scott V. Fell. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know him.
Do you know him?
Yeah, he came to the gym.
I don't think anybody.
He trains at Ultraflex Derby. So
has anybody ever told you they're a big fan of your physique? Like people have said, like you might look good. I don't think anyone's ever said to me, "I'm a big fan of your physique."
Have I mentioned OnlyFans?
A big fan of your work, and you're like,
what are you talking about?
No, you're like, what work do you mean? Definitely not Instagram content. OnlyFans makes sense. Yeah. Right, next one, mate. I just got a photo response. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, big boy himself.
I got loads of likes. So for people that are obviously listening and watching, it's a photo of Flex. So that is Jacob's dog. How long have you had Flex for?
I had Flex for just got me a good question this, because I don't know.
Probably what?
Under a year. I think he's about 8 months old now, so I've got about 6-7 months max.
Yeah. It was towards the end of prep, and that was like not about 6 months. 6 months ago.
Always wanted a
good investment.
Very good, mate. Yeah, love him. He loves you.
Really loves me. Like weird.
Probably a bit more than loves you.
He weaves.
Gym pin.
Yeah. Question about that. You ever put a gym pin? You ever thought gym pin?
Gym pinned him.
Gym pinned him.
No. Never thought about that. I mean, he's long enough.
Extended one, like you know, one of the ones you put on like a hammer strength press.
Yeah,
or the side back squat press, the extenders.
Well, we can talk to the gym pin guys.
I actually have a code ReSweat10. Gym pin. Imagine. I actually do, which is the worst thing. Friend, do you want to go?
So, Ed, who we had on the podcast, Millie's boyfriend, asked, how did Jakub,
all the versions
of his name, get in a position to set up such a great gym? He looks young, so I'm intrigued. So we kind of covered that.
Yeah. You need to put more gear.
You know, so you don't have to talk like exact numbers, but when you and your mate were going in like 50-50, and then obviously you said like, oh shit, I've only got half the money now.
Yeah.
Like at that point, did you think I don't have enough to actually like?
Yeah.
Because I like, obviously we kind of would have an idea as to how much we'd need if we were to like set up a gym. And obviously, imagine if we did it 50-50 and then I just went, oh no. You'd be like, shit, like it's a big difference, isn't it?
It is. And of course I'd like more kit. I don't think the gym will ever be done. I think it's that's what's cool about it. It's one of those projects where you can always do something a little bit more, even if it's like decoration, more machines, things like that. But I never... when he dropped out, I was like, that's why I said I'm gonna have to do a PT studio or something, just like a higher class PT studio. But again, I want to say I won a lottery finding the contacts that I've got, because obviously it's finding the kit, making sure it's refurbed to the, you know what my kit's like, it's pretty much brand new. Finding someone to ship it 1,500 miles, and all those little bits and bobs you don't have to deal with if you just go on, I don't know, Atlantis, press a few bits, buy, and it comes straight to you. If you do the behind the scenes, you save thousands, tens of thousands. So
it's worth it.
It is worth it.
Is there any bits that like you would have wanted to have got if you had his money?
Oh yeah.
Like, would you have had a different setup?
I've got a list somewhere saved up.
What was that? The original that you were like, that's where you
Yeah. I mean, I've already got a majority of what I wanted because I'm constantly buying equipment and adding more and more, which is why my back section is like the best ever, and my legs and chest could do with a bit more. Because I just buy as things come, with the kit, that like second-hand kit, you buy when it pops up. You can't be, you
can't wait. Like, if you want it and it comes
up. Do you have just like a website that you go through, or is it?
Mate,
like...
I'm on everything.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, mate. Just checking. Just checking all the time. eBay, all sorts.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Where do you see BM? So where do you see BM in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. That's far ahead.
You're gonna be 40, bro.
Mate, that's old.
41, that is old.
Yeah.
That's like you're washed. Like,
40 is old.
Classic Physique Pro by that point.
40 is old.
Yeah, you might bullshit classic, like
maybe
classic Masters Pro card.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. Someone's a fan of my physique already.
Hopefully
you got one fan.
I've got one fan.
Hopefully he's a judge.
Hopefully I've got a pro before then, but you never say never. You know.
What happens? Imagine if I get pro before you. Not that I'm chasing.
Me. Can't get his back lean.
Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, do you know how to get a back
lean? It looks good. It looks good.
Okay,
you showed me today.
Yeah, it looks. My back lean. When
it's
fat.
big and fat, but
when it's not big and
it's
fat,
impressive.
It's just small and skinny and fat. Like
it's still fat.
Yeah, it's still fat. It's just annoying. But
it's really fat.
Yeah, it is really fat. It's so annoying.
I think my back is the last thing to come in as well.
Oh fuck!
You'll see this.
It's enhanced. What Jack said, Eagles was like, it's enhanced bodybuilding. You can't get a lean lower back, no matter what. If you're on gear, it's just like you will always have like a little pinch, which is annoying. But
we will see. We will see.
Stay natty.
My back's like the first. My back doesn't really get fat.
No, and just not look like a bodybuilder, look like a swimmer. Did you see my comment on? It got way. Your reply wasn't very good. 0 likes. Finn,
because people probably don't know who Rebecca Adlington is.
Yeah, no one knows.
Although she is leaner than you.
She's
actually like she's a bit. I wouldn't say she's fat at all, but she's not lean.
Finn put up a throwback to prep, and I was like, great physique for a swimmer.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, maybe try bodybuilding in a few.
Kind of my own joke though. It was like I was the one that first said that I look like a swimmer.
No, I think the judges
probably
probably said that when they gave you like.
I can swim, but I wouldn't say I'm good at swimming.
Yeah, I think the judges were probably like good for.
Hey, I've got a British title. You haven't got that.
Yeah, but a British title and an epoxy one that you don't even need to qualify for. You know.
Yeah, but I think I would have qualified if I had to.
We'll see. You didn't win any qualifying shows, so first person to ever win a British finals without winning a qualifying show, or winning a show before. That's like
I did
standard.
Win a show that year.
FitX men's exactly. I've won a show. Right, so back to Jacob. One piece of kit that you're most proud of at BMod, and one that you'd want most in the future.
The one I want most in the future, I'll start with that.
I know what this is.
You'll be surprised, I think. I showed you this last time.
Should we write it down? What, one bit of kit that he wants?
Do it.
Let's write it down.
Because you're not going to guess it. You may have the upper edge, because you may know what I want. Oh. It's quite niche. It's...
Right, I'm going to put one that I know you do want, but it's probably not this one, because you're saying it's niche.
I'm trying to think niche. Ooh. Okay, can we play a guessing game? Like we try and we literally
we both got the same one.
Okay.
We both said prime seated row.
Yeah, that's what we both said.
I definitely want that. Yes.
Definitely want that.
Yes.
So let's whittle it down.
It's not a pull machine.
Okay. We're gonna go question to question. We're gonna say, is it
a leg machine?
No.
Push machine?
Yes.
Chest?
Oh.
Yes.
Fly?
Yes.
I know you told me about it. Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek does a very cool machine. Seabum's using it in his current gym right now. Right. It's a 30-degree fly. You know, like the Nautilus has those pads. So it's the same. You lie down. Oh, mate, it's epic. Epic.
At Bev's gym, they had one, and they literally. I told Jacob, the guy at the desk literally said, "What are you training?" And I said, "Upper." And he goes, "Okay." He came out and he was like, "You need to use this bit of kit."
That's cool.
He was like, "This is amazing." And I was expecting like a big press or a pull because I'm training upper, and he's like, "Fly," and I was like, honestly, amazing.
I feel.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
I feel like I'm close. I found a 10-degree Nautilus old version of that. Yeah. But it's not as good.
That's still be cool though.
Yeah.
And then, what's the one bit that you're most proud of now?
2, the squat press and the hack squat, because I feel like I was literally the last, because Cybex obviously is closed down now. They just became old school, I believe. I know the new school, relatively new machines, but because I've got them both, it's like
they're sorted now.
It's hard to get them now.
Yeah,
so I feel like probably them 2.
Yeah,
they are probably the most sought after bits that you've got there.
I used to drive to Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham, like during prep, because that was the only gym that was nearby that had a pivot leg press.
Mate,
that wasn't Rotherham.
We used to drive to Rotherham.
And Rotherham,
to just use that squat press.
Yeah. I remember prior to going away on holiday last year to Crete, I was like, it's legs, right, full send, what gym can I just bury myself? And I was like, Ultrex Rotherham has a squat press.
Yeah,
so I said to Sanaa, the day before we go on holiday, Sanaa's like, we need to pack, and I'm like, I got legs. Go to Rotherham.
She was like, 2 hours.
Then she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I've got to send the squat press.
Yeah.
And I did 15 plates per side, because I was like,
whatever more you put on majority of prep, the first like half.
Yeah.
Like my leg sessions were there just because of that.
Yeah.
And it's a great machine.
Yeah, it's a very good bit of kit. And then the hack is like, it's super expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, we were saying,
did you get a decent deal on it?
Yeah, I got an alright deal. It's just now I feel they've just like the old hack. You're talking 9-10 grand euros, which is like £9,000 for an old piece of kit.
The Jim Lecco one's like $3 grand.
Yeah,
and
it's really good.
It's really good.
Very nice.
You know, and it's not where you have to go through rabbit holes and try and go through loops and
you just buy it.
Give someone a hand job to get maybe a small chance at winning one or buying one for an overpriced amount.
Like
you
there's now even Instagram page. Like if you're opening a gym, there's Instagram pages opening up now, and they're selling kit, and they're just fakes. Like they'll just take your money, and there's nothing waiting on the other side.
Yeah.
It's like
you got to be careful.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a good question for you. So, best Smith machine ever?
Well, I've got two. I've got Cybex, old school. Love it.
It is good.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
The other one I've got is Nautilus. Slightly old school as well. Quite nice. It's a bit narrow. Weird. But they're roughly weigh the same. I think Nautilus is slightly heavier, but Cybex Smith definitely, but fucking probably the worst machine that I've had in terms of the most headache it gave me.
Really?
Setting it up or things going wrong?
Well, I brought it from Germany.
Yeah.
When it arrived, the cable was snapped, and they're encasing those square columns or getting in there. I'm quite new into fixing machines as well, so I had to it was literally last day before they opened gyms up, and I left that Smith to the last minute because I was like, I can't be bothered, not today. I'll do it tomorrow. And it's literally last day. Like I need to do this. So I was like, I'm going to get it. I managed to get it fixed. And then I got it refurbed with Tom from Nitram. Yeah. So they've done a good job on it.
It does look good.
And it's all good now.
Yeah,
so.
I'd say a Cybex Smith is legit. I remember I had a prep client come, Josh Doherty, when he was a few weeks out from the show, last year. It was for the last PCA first timers one. And he's never used a Cybex Smith. And he'd never used Nautilus. And we did a push session. And he was like, mate, that Smith's so good. And he was used to a stupidly heavy Life Fitness one that was stupidly angled, really heavy, or it was either Life Fitness a hammer strength. They looked the same, the old school ones. And he was like, what the fuck, this is amazing. And then he did the Nautilus shoulder press and he was like, I've never even felt my delts like this. He was like, what is this? And I was like, it's good kit, mate. That's what it is.
That's the difference between good kit.
What would be your favourite Smith, mate? What's your least favourite Smith?
Probably the Cybex. Least favourite would be the Matrix.
Anything angled, mate.
Really? Yeah, I really like the
Nautilus angled ones are not bad, mate.
And the new ones,
the one at Ultra Derby is good. Yeah,
it is quite nice, but Matrix.
Have you ever used a Matrix Smith?
Yes, I have at a spa gym.
You literally have to be
mate.
Doing
honestly, you have
to rotate it 10 times to get it all the way back.
I think that's when I was chasing the 4-plate Smith.
That's impressive. If you do 4 plates on that, Jesus Christ.
I got 3.5, and when I got to 3.5, I started to get a guy to unrack it for me, so help me out, so I can set my snapping your wrists on that. It's nasty.
Yeah, no, nothing worse. Yeah, a Matrix is definitely worse. I trained at a Planet Fitness gym in Planet Fitness Tregedo, whatever. Yeah. So I did a gym in Wales, wicked gym, prime kit upstairs. I went downstairs. I was like, "Where's the Smith? Matrix Smith."
Matrix.
I was like, "They've got hammer strength, prime, Atlantis."
Jeez.
I was like, why have they got a Matrix Smith? I literally almost wanted to be like, I want my day pass back.
I
did an incline barbell and it was okay, but I was like, I can't even comprehend how you've got prime.
Yeah.
And then that shite. That's you've literally got a wicked car and the back wheel's just fucking off. And you're just like, I'm going to buy some oil. Tyres keep coming off. Yeah, crazy. Right. Going back to questions. Do you want to
go? So this is from one of my clients. To be fair, I guess it can be quite relative to you two. Tips for taking your first athlete through prep to a bodybuilding show. Now I know Jacob's not going to be your first client, but first athlete through prep to a bodybuilding show. What would be your main tips?
I'd say having a rapport prior. like we say before, like it rarely ever works if somebody was just to be like, hey bro, can I start with you? I'm starting prep tomorrow. Like you want to get that base amount of like
as long as possible.
Yeah, as long as possible, so you can at least understand their body,
even
go through multiple phases.
Like, weeks, but still,
a few weeks is good, but just as well to assess how they are, because you can almost, whenever we have clients sign up, and you probably notice the same, a lot of people are a lot more slack than they realise. And let's say, for example, they might still get in everything they need to, but they've combined 2 meals, and that's unacceptable. You shouldn't be doing that in prep.
To the clients,
like, or they're
not just about it's not just about ticking the boxes. It's about how well you can actually tick the boxes. Anybody can go to the gym. Anybody can eat their food, hit their target.
Just because you turn up, it doesn't matter.
There are certain things that are ticking a box. Like steps are ticking a box. Yeah. But like cardio, if you treat cardio like it's ticking a box, and you're just like, yeah, cool, I've done my cardio.
Steps, like you say, steps it is a case of ticking a box, but also how people do them. Like they will not go on a walk in the morning when it's like a good time to go on a walk.
8-10k steps in one go.
They won't go on a walk in the evening. Then they'll just rush and do loads of steps within like half an hour or an hour, and then wonder why they feel battered. Or they go on they walk to the gym to get my steps in. It's an hour's walk. Imagine getting to the gym after an hour's walk. You've like burnt through all your food.
No,
it's like
that's what Noah's doing. It's just Coco. That's what he does. He walks for an hour or whatever.
I don't think it's an hour.
It's why I enjoy with you. Like obviously, I've got this period of time where, when you step away from like being on it with bodybuilding, I feel like you build really shit habits. Where you're just like, I'll do my steps later. Do you know what I mean? Like you need a structure and routines, which is what's working for me right now. I fuck up, I realise I fuck up and go, okay, I need to do this better. And that gives me this amount of time where I'm like, okay, try and error, improve every day. And I hit prep. Cool. I've done all that work of messing up.
That's what I said to you. Start up a few weeks before so we can get a good foundation. I think as well, having enough time, like knowing where somebody is starting weight wise. Like if you're legit fat and you're like, oh yeah, we can do a 14-week prep, you're not going to give yourself enough time. And having things mapped out in order, maybe not to week standards, but a rough idea of where somebody should be, a planned potential deload, how you're going to manage and mitigate some level of fatigue. The most important thing is obviously getting eat. That's like fatigue management's fucking irrelevant if you're fat. But when it comes to most individuals, just spacing things out and having that level of understanding regarding what the client needs to adhere to and what the coach needs to set. And then, as I said to you, like I'd say we're good friends. Like you'd probably say we're best friends, and we're good mates. We're best
I already took the picture of this before you arrived.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I was like, I'm going to post it on my socials. Tags, Reese fits.
Be like, oh, it's such a good day. No, but we're good friends. But also, like I said, there's that level of respect. Where in a prep, if I say to you, Jacob, mate, what the fuck, this is stupid. I know you'll listen to me. Where at times I feel like, especially if it's like somebody going into it with like a friend, like something that I've said multiple times. I have a client called Hubert who I've known for years. Me and Finn have known him. Lovely lad. Like probably one of the nicest lads you'll ever meet. But when it comes to me coaching him, like it is simply a case of like, this is what you're doing, bro. And he's like, cool, sound. But then after that, if something comes out, or football happens, he'll message me, hey mate, have you seen the football? And it's like a different person. Where I feel like at times people can almost blur the lines without realising if you haven't got that relationship set up. So it's like, again, you can be friends with somebody, and I suggest being mates to a certain degree with clients, because you don't just want to be scared of somebody. You don't want to be scared of your coach, but also there should be that element of respect towards them, where when they speak, you fucking listen to it.
It's almost like towards the end of both our preps, when we were like just asking each other for advice, we'd talk in the morning as like coach client, and then after that it was just normal mates. Like when we trained, we wouldn't be like,
I didn't agree with what you said earlier.
No, we'd just train and it would just be normal. But then like the morning, it'd be like, right, like let me know your body weight, send the photos, let's chat.
That's essentially what you want from a coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what am I doing wrong? Not
or am I being an idiot?
There's a lot of coaches where they'll just clap for you. And it's like, you respect them for the claps, but you don't, it's not what you want at all.
No, well, we say you respect them. You like it because nobody's not going to want praise. But also, bodybuilding isn't something where you should, if your only intention is to seek praise of a coach, you're doing things for the wrong way.
Well, it's like everybody likes a compliment, but they get washed if you're having them all the time. Like, imagine if like every time you saw your girlfriend, she said you look nice. It's like, do I actually, or are you just fucking saying it every time? You know what I mean? It's like the same with if every time that you have a check-in, oh mate, you look incredible. You look incredible. When you actually think it, like amount of times we'll have clients go, mate, you gave me a compliment in that check-in, and like
Yeah.
stuff, or like training clips after like 6 months. You're like, I'm actually really happy with this session. This is probably the best I've seen from you. And they're like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like that's what the level that I expect. Like it doesn't.
We've noticed that like when like let's say if we train with other people, especially like a few years back when like we were getting into training like properly, we have like people jump in with us, and like we made jokes about like I did a leg press set, and they were like, I can't remember who it was, but like that's the best leg press set I've seen. And it literally was like no, it was another guy as well.
Yeah, it was Sanaya and someone.
Yeah, and they were like the best leg press set I've ever seen, and it's hilarious because I do those sets every single week.
Yeah.
But to me in Finn, it's like that's normal. But to others, it's like Jesus Christ.
We also like developed that for years.
Yeah, exactly, and it's the same with like a physique. Like I could go to a gym when I'm 4 weeks out, pose, and most people are going to go, fucking hell, you look sick.
Yeah.
But you don't need that. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't make a difference.
You're not
like,
improving from that, are you?
Like Finn, for example, if I was to be sending him my photos and hey mate, what do you like? Not even what do you reckon? Be like, this is what I think for today. It wouldn't even really comment on the physique. It would just be like, yeah, Sam, like okay. Like there might be a few times where you are like, oh, you actually look good. Yeah, this looks really good. But that's minimal times, and it's the same with the other way around. You know?
Yeah, you don't need that, do you? Like. I don't need. Tell me what pose looks good.
I think a definition of a coach. I don't actually know the definition of a coach, but I think it is something along the lines of where someone getting you to a place where you want to be, and the only place to get there is
actually getting there, but not having that journey doesn't have to be like I'm loving it. There's going to be parts where the best coaches you're probably going to think, oh fucking this guy, like dickhead. Like you should.
There'll be times where, especially in a prep, where like I'll have clients who will ask me something, like they'll ask me to like. They'll say, oh, I'm struggling with this or struggling with that, or sometimes, like, that's part of it, embrace it. And like you can tell they don't want that answer. They want oh mate, just take the day off, or like, and it's like, no, this is where you need to be. This is good.
I've had that, you know, when I came from like powerlifting, power building, very explosive, very fast. Yeah. And then a lot of times I would send my, video, I'm doing my T-bars, and it's like, no, shit.
Yeah.
Like, how many times can I do a T-bar? Like, what's wrong with this? It's fine.
But it's fine to you, but to them, it's probably not up to standard.
And you just have to wait and just keep going
working,
and, just listen.
Yeah. Right, so how much did you charge me for breaking your machines?
Nothing. I didn't charge you a penny, did I?
Shut up.
Your ankle, that skin on your ankle.
Yeah, mate. My ankle, I think, still scarred.
Mate, my gym pin is still bent.
That's what we do, mate.
Yeah.
We go to different people's gyms and we just bend.
Do you know about us? Like,
I messaged him today.
Oh, really?
He says he'll come on.
Okay. Do you know Zach, pro coach, Foreign?
Yeah.
He that was a bit of a like.
Well, he trains with Sophie. At my gym. They come down.
He messaged us like years ago. we like bent the gym.
It was. He definitely didn't message me.
He put it on his story. And
he must have messaged you.
He was like, "You're gonna bend my gym pins." He was like, "Fucking sort it out." We were like, "Bro, we didn't even realise we bent it. Like, just tell us."
But sorry.
We're like, "Sorry, but we didn't even realise we bent it." But it was like personal attack. Put PSA to Reese Fit. Fuck you for breaking my gym pin. If I see you, I'm gonna throw hands. Get me a new gym pin. And I think she was like, "Mate, I'll buy a new set of gym pins. I'll just have your old ones. They're cool."
Yeah. Think of a gym supplying a gym pin. The way I see it.
We did use his though, didn't we?
Okay.
He left his behind.
He was sound. He did say to us, "You can use it." But
but I don't think we asked, "Can we bend it?
Can we bend it?
Can we bend it? Can we bend it?"
Yeah, exactly. We bend your gym pin. Cheers, man.
Not even can we use it? We just bend it.
But the thing is, and the worst thing is, it wasn't like even that bend.
No, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't. Mine's fucked.
Mine's fucked. Yeah, I've actually written off that gym pin. I'm sorry, but the machine didn't break. If you had actually made it tight, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But because you hadn't tightened the machine, you hurt my ankle, and
you almost killed him.
Yeah, you almost killed me.
I almost killed him.
I almost died.
Yeah.
Don't go to
Look at your back now, though.
Fat.
Yeah, it's all
Jack, though.
Jack.
I think it's fat.
It is fat, but the muscle behind, like
I don't
underneath.
know if there is any. Mate.
We'll find out one day.
We'll find out. No, I don't know if it will. I don't think it will ever. I just think it.
Just be a powerlifter.
It keeps accumulating. I don't think it can possibly lose fat. Like I just literally, no matter what, like I'll be shredded.
It's got its own storage of fat.
Every prep it gets fatter.
It's like that post you put on, the post where you stood outside after the shower. Yeah, and like you look weird.
Yeah.
And
I literally just put, how did your back look though?
The thing is, and this is the actual funny thing, I looked at like my back on the PCA, for the final shows. My lower back was the leanest on the stage, like by quite a considerable distance.
Everyone else was really fat.
No, it just isn't like. It's funny because you perceive situations. When I look back at the video, I had a comment on it and it popped up and I was like, oh cool, and it clicked on it and I was already on that bit and I was like, oh my lower back's actually really lean. Yeah. Oh yeah, if I showed you, you'd go, shit, like it's the leanest on the entire stage for that PCA show, but because there's like
A little bit.
Also, I think as well, it's exacerbated because I'm so fucking lean everywhere else.
But you also just chase that condition, don't you? Like, I literally posted about that the other day, and I was saying, like, towards the end of my prep, I was just chasing more, like, detail in my glutes and not realising that the rest of my physique was just getting worse.
Out of all the people I competed against for those final 2 shows, I was the leanest of the Fitex show by an absolute landslide. I was way leaner than Guy. And for the PCA show, I was the most conditioned on the stage by, again, a considerable distance. I was, mate, 100%. Those black dudes that were ahead of me weren't leaner. They had off-season hamstrings.
Yeah, but they were
more
classic.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm not saying that's not the case. And then Craig Homer, way softer than me through the rear and through pretty much everything. He just had big quads. You know, like, again, out of that lineup, the condition wasn't the issue.
Have we touched a nerve, mate?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think we have. I don't even know how that rant started.
That's that MPP. Just my head's all over the place.
Right. You're
overthinking. Let's wrap it up.
I've got a few more, yeah. Do you think abs can get overdeveloped?
Abs can get over... maybe. Obliques?
Yeah.
Give it slightly...
Depends on the class, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you're classic, maybe you don't want to be doing like loads of direct oblique work.
Yeah.
If you're bikini, then yeah, they could in some classes.
And then Jakub is 80% Pakistan. Reese Fit. I'm not going to beat that. Do you know who this is? This is Max Alexander.
Oh, I know. He's on my close friend's story, so he knows.
What,
I got asked. I started taking MT2.
Okay,
and I'm a bit tanned, and my barber asked me, "You're from Pakistan?"
Did he?
Well, he's not my original barber. When I'm like in a rush,
all these people. I left my barber, cheated on my barber.
Yeah, man. I cheat on my barber all the time. And when I need to go quick, I'm like, just go to the quick one.
So are you 80% Pakistani?
Possibly. You don't know.
know.
I'm pretty sure I'm Polish, but
You're 100% Polish.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Right. Last one for me. Is there any rate of loss that you would say is too fast and could result in muscle loss?
Yeah, I think it depends on the length of the diet. Like, if you're doing, let's say, a 4-week diet, you could probably lose like 2-3% a week and you'd be absolutely sound, especially if you start really fat. But if it's like 12 weeks plus, I wouldn't really be looking at losing any more than like 1%. You lose a bit more at the start, slow it down towards the end.
Yeah.
But I think we've said before, haven't we, like if you're trying to speed it up towards the end, the look just gets worse.
Yeah.
Like even if you need to speed it up towards the end, it's like we need to. It's almost like when you do that, it just gets a bit worse.
I feel like you can get away with it
if you have frequent
very brief period of time. When, like, you know, if you're being really aggressive,
like 2-3 days,
and
then you need to feed up, and then 2-3 days, and that's
like you're doing it into a show and you're nose diving, and there's like a small chance that you can just like drop a good amount of fatigue, eat enough, get somewhat full, and you'll look really good, but then your physique will fade after that, and it's like it's never going to pop to the same standard. Like I remember this for the PCA first timer show that I did, where like I was so flat for the first show, but I was like so lean. It was like I was leaner last year, but I looked leaner on stage because I was so flat and depleted. And it was like a weird sort of look, and I saw photos pop up and I was like, that's the most men's physique I've ever looked, because I was small for me, very small. My delt still popped, my arms were really flat, my chest was really flat, and that wouldn't have been a good look for a two bro show or an actual proper show that with bigger dudes. So it's one of those. Your physique will go up and down. You sometimes will nail it, sometimes it might not be a case. But realistically, if you get yourself lean early and you don't have to rush too hard, the best thing is just not rushing towards the end. If the rate of loss can really be slowed down, you can have frequent high days, you can wash off fatigue. Like, you should be looking good a week or two out. Like,
I think as a general rule of thumb, if you almost say like you probably don't want to be losing any faster than 1% within a prep. If it's a mini core, if it's like 8 weeks or less, or if it's like a pre-prep, you could probably get away with being a bit faster than that, especially at the start. But throughout the majority of a prep, like ideally you probably want to be keeping it at 1%, even towards the end, like 0.5%.
Yeah.
Like if you think 0.5% for somebody who's let's say 180 pounds, you're still nearly losing £1 a week, still a decent amount.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah,
I've got all this experience, I guess.
Yeah, man. That'd be good. Right, is that the questions done?
Yeah, I got. Do you have a favourite client?
Do you have a favourite client?
It's me.
No, do you have a favourite?
Do I have a favourite client? I do, actually.
You haven't paid me yet, bro.
Yes.
I'm a client.
Oh, mate, of course I'm a client.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I showed you him. I actually coach him for free. Don't charge him anything. I just think he's got very good potential.
That makes the rest of your clients who
feel
pay
great
and be like, great, cheers, Jacob.
Yeah, but it's a friend.
Yeah. So which one?
Matt.
Is it? Matt.
He's helped me with the gym. Like I was at the new gym.
You showed me photos of him.
Yeah. So when I moved into the new unit, he's just, messaged me, can I come down and help? I didn't ask him.
That's nice.
He's just helped me out with everything. So I was like, can I repay the favour?
Yeah, exactly.
So essentially, he's paying.
Who do you have a least favourite client?
Yeah, he's left now.
Anyone who's left, mate.
Yeah,
Anyone who's left.
He's left. Yeah.
Fair,
I mean, he's had a child, so he probably shouldn't have signed up with me when he did.
But I still charged him, and I'm not paying him back.
Well, the thing is, if he DMs me, he can have half his money back. We've done 2 weeks, so
Alright, last one. Do you prefer an if it fits your macros approach or meal plan approach for bulking or cutting?
Meal plan.
Yeah,
meal plan.
Food never gets
for
too
everything.
right anyway.
Meal plan and then just eat off plan anyway.
Yeah.
You're bored in your kitchen that I told you about, where it was like there was like one tortilla wrap, and I was like, and it was a half a pack of rice.
All day.
Every meal was like 50 carbs. I was like, Jacob, you need 250 pounds.
Bikini,
what the fuck are you eating? She was like, you're eating like a bikini girl diet.
Yeah.
I was like, what's Mel eating? Mel was eating more than this. And then when I saw him with like a bowl of Cocoa Puffs, I was like, what's that? 40 grams? It was like, what's that? 40 grams? And then you were like,
it's the pizza at night that catches me up.
I've got one bagel. It said one bagel, and then he brings out 2 bagels. He's like, have another bagel.
Hardcore.
Yeah, he was like, one another bagel.
Have that in the plan.
I'm going to get swole now. 2 bagels.
My coach told me 1 bagel. I've done 2.
I've doubled it.
Yeah, right. That'll be that. Jacob, thank you for coming down.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
I don't think you've said anything too bad or anything like
No?
that. You were scared.
Did you fuck up?
No, you're all good.
We're not going to have to edit anything out.
No? Look at that.
No, seems great. Right, that's that, guys. Jacob, thanks again for coming along.
Numbers.
Thank you very much.
What are the numbers?
So we've got 774 Instagram followers. That was on so obviously every time we do the iPad again, I'll see what the previous one was. That was on 710 last time we did it.
Yeah.
904 Spotify followers, 809 subscribers. The subscribers on YouTube has gone up very, very quickly, so we do appreciate any new subscribers, especially if you've watched this far. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. I hope you're all enjoying the new content, the show reviews that we've been bringing out. We'll keep those coming, and we'll keep getting guests in. We've got a few in the pipelines, haven't we?
Yeah, exciting times, that's for sure. Podcast is continuing to get better and better.
I've subscribed.
Good man.
Have you?
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
No
Has
problem.
Mel subscribed?
I don't know. I'll speak to her when I get home.
And Flex.
Yeah.
Create an account.
If we don't
Just create an account.
If we don't see 2 extra subs within an hour and a half.
This is it. Not taking me on.
This isn't getting uploaded.
Oh, fuck. All my popularity. And can I still be a client now?
Yeah, we'll see. Just pay me, and I'll what I'll do is I'll just coach for a week and then block you.
Yeah, okay.
I've heard about a coach doing that actually recently. Right, that'll be that. Thank you guys. See you later. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Tag Jacob in stories. Bye bye.